Hi everyone, I want to provide a quick video on how to get started with doing a Biomart search in R. First thing that I would like everyone to do when they open Rstudio is go to File, New Project, save your old workspace and start a new directory, new project on your desktop. You can call it something like Biomart, April 7th. And when you start the new project, you're going to see the .rproj file that shows up in the folder, and you're going to want to move one other file into this folder to get started. So if you look back at your assignment from last week where we created the rsid.txt files, that's a good file to use as our search tool, just like we did when we did the web-based search. I can get that file. I have it on my desktop as part of the Unit 3 project. So I'm just going to make a copy of it and paste it into the Biomart file folder. Now I can see Biomart April 7th.rproj. I can also see rsid.txt. The last file that we're going to need to get started will be an R script. So you can get an R script. This R script is going to start out untitled. It won't show up in the folder, but if I do File, Save As, and I say my Biomart search, it will create a folder, a file in my folder called my biomartsearch.r. Now I can go to the Bio 340 files for the Biomart search. And I can see the program that is already written out for me that has all of the steps to do a gene-based search. So I'm going to start with that program, and then I'm going to make changes at every level of the search so that I'm able to change it for the assignment. I'm going to put my name as the first comment in the script and today's date, April 7th. And then I'm going to set up a name for this and a description. So what is this script that I'm writing going to do? It's going to run a Biomart search using SNPs. We don't need to change anything from loading the library. The library command will stay the same, but I do need to make sure that the library is loaded onto my personal computer. I can do that by going on a web browser and opening up a tab, Bioconductor, Biomart, and I see the command that I need to install Biomart. I can copy that directly into my console. Once Biomart's downloaded on my computer, I can run library Biomart without any problems. And then I can see what options are available in the list of marts. For doing a gene-based search, as you see in the R Markdown file, we select Ensemble, Mart, Ensemble. For doing a SNP-based search, we're going to want to change to Ensemble Mart SNP. I'm going to copy the name of the mart, paste it into the script, and run that command. I'm going to change my comment to specify that I changed the SNP database. Now that I have a new database, I have a new list of data sets that are available. I'm going to click this line to run my data sets equals list data sets. I'm going to look at the list. So I can look at SNPs in cows. I can look at SNPs in dogs, in goats, in zebrafish. And if I scroll down, I can see H. sapiens SNPs to look at SNPs in humans. I'm going to change both the data set and the database on line 18. And then I'm going to run that so that I have a new set of information to look at, I should see the formal class mart in my environment change to be a large mart. Once it's finished running, if it doesn't change, it means that something has gone wrong in loading that database. And there's probably a small typo in either ensemble_mart snip or hsapien_snip. When I look at the filters, I can scroll down until I find the snip filter. The information that we have is a list of RS IDs, things like RS123, and so we want to use line 11, the snip filter, to find those. We can change the filter from being a list. When we were searching the gene database, we had 3 pieces of information: chromosome name, start, and end. For this search, we only have 1 piece of information that we're going to use, which is the RSID. And to define what types of RSIDs we have, the easiest thing to do is going to be to read in the RSIDs from a text file. What does that look like? Instead of setting values 1 equal to a command that we type, we're going to set it equal to reading in the file. Read.csv, rsid.txt, header equals false because there are no columns in this data. It's just a list of RSIDs. If I click run, we now have almost all of our search defined. We know the mart we want. We know the filter. We know what values are going into that filter. The last thing we have to figure out is what attributes do we want. So I ran the My Attributes line. Now we have a list that I can open up and preview, and I can scroll through this list and get the individual columns that I want to be in my attributes. Ref SNP ID is going to be the first thing that we want to include. The second thing we want to include is minor allele. And minor allele frequency. You can see that specified as the line right below minor allele. And last but not least is phenotype name. Once I run that line, I now have everything defined for doing a Biomart search. So I can run the get Biomart command. And when I run the get Biomart command, I get a new variable called search results. If I click on it, I can see that it has all of the 100 ref SNP IDs, the minor allele and the minor allele frequency for each of them. And only one of these 100 SNPs has an associated phenotype name. It's the SNP that we looked up in last week's assignment, RS3934834. If you have a T, you're more likely to have an increased BMI. That's all you need to be able to change a Biomart search from a search that is gene-centered to a search that is SNP-centered. When you're done, you'll save your R script, and this is what you'll turn in on Canvas. Let me know if you have any questions.